Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, it's Duke.
And this is Corey.
You're back to the drive-in review.
Uh-oh. You hear that?
Yeah. Where's that coming from?
We're going Back to the Future, guys.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What do you got today on Back to the Future trilogy?
I've got a lot. Let me go ahead and cut this off here so we can get started. That's right, folks. We're doing the Back to the Future franchise for our season opener.
Right.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
So, first off, we got a new segment that we want to start off with. It's called Movie News.
Ding, 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 ding.
So, I've heard that Gremlins 3 is greenlit.
It has been for years.
Yeah, but it's actually happening now. But
Yeah.
they're just trying to figure out the right script.
Okay.
So the director, he wants to end the franchise. A lot of people are not going to like this. He wants to kill off Gizmo.
Yeah.
That's the only way to end it. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and that can change at any moment.
It could. It's still in development. So, and also Top Gun 3 is coming out. Tom Cruise, all the rest of them.
Yay, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Have you heard anything else on movies?
I believe Beetlejuice is slotted for September of this year.
Yeah, September 6th.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
We got a new Ghostbusters movie coming out in June, I believe.
No, March.
Is it March?
March 22nd.
Okay. All right.
Yep, I can't wait. All right. So, what's going on with you?
Oh,
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Since the topic is Back to the Future and everything, why don't you, since this is our show, we can do whatever the hell we want.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you give the audience a little plug on what's going on with you?
Back to the Future?
Huh? Well, back from the past, I guess.
I headed out to a convention in Cincinnati and Chicago here in a couple weeks. Got two conventions. One of them is Days of the Dead. The other is Horror Hound. I'm going to be meeting up with a few people. Jeffrey Combs, Doug Bradley, a lot of names out there this year. Eli Roth, Clive Barker.
That has nothing to do with Back to the Future, though.
Yep. Yeah,
so you have you have a band.
Oh yeah.
What's your band's name?
The name of the band is the Biff Tannins.
Yes.
We're doing a reunion show May 3rd here in Kansas City.
Yes.
We're also re-releasing our second album. It was actually released in 2016, but we've doing a re-release on it. We've done some remixing, re-recording, and all that stuff. Spent a lot of money. So
right.
It sounds great.
Now, is your first album going to be on Spotify too, or just?
It's already on Spotify.
It's already on Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay. I recommend checking it out, folks. It's very good.
It's also on Apple Music.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when is the reunion?
May 3rd.
May 3rd at the Rhino.
Rhino.
At the Rhino
in Kansas City.
So yes, if you're in town in Kansas City area, go to the Rhino. It's in North Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Over by Screenland Armor.
Yes.
The best theater in town.
Right. So, Back to the Future 1. Let's get started.
Back to the Future.
Yes. I have to find my notes.
I gotta find my ass. My two hands.
There we go. All right, so a lot of this is going to be repeated because there's 3 movies, and none of it really changed as far as actors and directors and all that. So let's start with Back to the Future 1.
Okay.
Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film. Marty leads an ordinary life.
No McFly ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
Well, history is going to change.
And 1985 is not his year. But Dr. Brown is about to change all that.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
You tell me
What about the
the
DeLorean?
time machine.
He's sending Marty.
They're all high on
80 years
helium back then, I
back
guess.
in time.
It worked! It's a flying saucer from outer space!
Now he's trapped in the past,
It's got to be a dream.
about to meet
Chocolate.
his future father.
He's a baby tough.
Wow!
And he's making an impression on his mother.
It's an absolute dream. And he can sleep in my room.
Anything you do could have serious repercussions on future events.
Now he's got to make his mother and father fall in love.
For crying out loud, I haven't even been born yet.
And only Dr. Brown can help him get back to the future.
Are you telling me that this sucker is nuclear?
Precisely.
Michael J. Fox,
Whoa, this is heavy.
Christopher Lloyd,
That's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Was that an 80s plug on Showtime?
I think so. It was like a modern high definition. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, I could not find the original trailer. It was-
Slacker.
yeah, I know. I mean, you get what you get, guys. So,
And you don't throw a fit.
all right. So if you couldn't understand the whole high-pitched helium voices there, Back to the Future is about Marty McFly, a 17-year-old high school student, is accidentally sent 30 years into the past in a time-traveling DeLorean invented by his close friend, the maverick scientist Dr. Emmett Brown.
Okay.
It was released July 3rd, 1985, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, Tom Wilson, and Claudia Wells.
Mm-hmm.
It was directed by Robert Zemeckis and also written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale.
Yep.
It was produced by Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. So it was Spielbergian.
Spill beer.
Yeah, Spielbeer. Even though his name is not mentioned at all, it's weird because he was there like every day during filming.
The film also features Billy Zane, who tried out for the role of Biff
That's
Tannen.
right.
Casey Siemaszko
Yeah.
is also one of Biff
This,
Tannen's henchmen.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, the music is by composer Alan Silvestri. Yeah, Silvestri.
Who also did Forrest Gump and a number of other movies.
Oh God, yeah, the list goes on, man. Along with Robert Zemeckis, Forrest Gump, Polar Express.
Yeah.
I mean everything. Also done in the music is Huey Lewis in the News.
Who also plays a little role in the movie.
Yeah, he was like the auditioner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Marvin Berry in the Starlighters, and Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
So,
Chuck Berry.
yeah, music
Oh.
wise, not film.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, music wise. It was filmed in Hollywood, California, and the high school, which is Hill Valley High in the movie, was Whittier High.
Okay.
So, had a budget of $19 million. What do you think it grossed?
Like 300 million.
385.
Yeah.
So, IMDb gave it 8.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 93% with a 94% audience rating. Letterboxd gave it 4.2 out of 5. I gave it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Yes.
Did you watch this in theaters when it came out?
I think so. I know I seen the second one. I don't remember if I seen the first one in theaters or not.
This was the first movie I remember seeing in theaters.
I was only 6, so I was kind of sheltered when I was a kid. Unless my mom, stuck me with my sisters to babysit them, so they wouldn't do anything stupid.
At the time, I was living in Alabama, and Hurricane Juan came through.
Okay.
And it caused us to run from our home and go north. I think we went northwest, went up to through Mississippi or something like that. And while we were there, that's when we watched Back to the Future. And I was 5, fell asleep during the movie, and I remember waking up during the Johnny B. Good
Right.
part. I guess the music woke me up. I don't know.
It's rock and roll. Excuse me. All right. So, fun facts. I have a lot of fun facts.
Are they fun?
Yes. Very interesting fun facts, that really. So, the rights of the film and its sequels, of course, if you haven't kept up with today's news, everything what's going on, it's owned by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. In a 2015 interview, Zemeckis maintained that no reboot or remake of the film would be authorized during his or Gale's lifetime.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be.
No.
There's also a law.
Despite what you will see on the internet all the time.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's not
Everything's
going
fake.
to happen.
Yeah, no reboot, no Back to the Future 4.
Nope.
It's done. So there's a lawsuit going on right now between DeLorean and the DeLorean company and Robert Zemeckis and them because of the owner rights.
Royalties.
Yeah,
or
royalties. Evidently, he wasn't paid throughout the whole franchise and everything, even though he didn't officially sign over rights. So I'm kind of intrigued on what's going to happen with that trial. It's supposed to be going to trial.
Why is it just now happening? I'm wondering.
Right. Greedy, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, the DeLorean didn't do so good. It only was popular because of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the writers, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, I should just call them the Bobs. The Bobs.
Yeah, from The Office.
Yeah.
Office Space, I mean.
Yeah, the Bobs. They actually received a fan letter from John DeLorean after the film's release. This doesn't make sense either because he's suing them, or his family's suing him. I don't know if John DeLorean's still alive or not, but anyways, he sent him a thank you card, a letter for immortalizing his car.
By the way.
Yeah. 30 years later. Oh yeah, by the way, you owe me. See here, the script was rejected 44 times before it finally was greenlit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it probably the situations at hand.
Yeah.
The
Oedipus complex thing.
Yeah. Mommy.
Oh, God. Yeah.
See here, after the film's release, body kits were made for DeLoreans to make them look like the time machine. Biff's catchphrases, make like a tree and get out of here and butthead.
Mm-hmm.
They were all improvised by Tom Wilson.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
and I think they're trademarked as well.
Okay.
So you can't say butthead without him getting paid for it.
Cha-ching.
Let's see here. I've got a whole lot.
I know the original script had them using a refrigerator to go back in time, but they changed that idea because of the issue of children climbing in refrigerators back in that time, getting stuck. So
I'll say because, they did away with the lead refrigerators. back in the 80s, but still.
I'm sure they were still around.
Yeah.
But they did away with the fridge idea. They were also supposed to be using an atomic bomb to go back in time, and that didn't pan out either.
Wow, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, apparently Ronald Reagan was amused by Doc Brown's disbelief that an actor like him could become president, so much so that he asked the projectionists to stop and rewind that scene so he can watch it again. And then he liked it so much that he used a phrase in his 1986 State of the Union address where he quoted, as they said in the film Back to the Future 1985, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah.
So, Crispin Glover claimed to have the film, to have seen the film only once. He's only seen it once.
Okay.
I know a lot of actors don't watch their own films.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I would at least like to watch it one time just to see it completed, because when you're going there, it's bits and pieces that you're filming.
Yeah, you put that work in. You might want to see.
Right. Harrison Ford's one of those that he's never seen. He hasn't seen one Indiana Jones.
Huh.
So he just refuses to see his own movies, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's only seen it once. Shortly after its release. In contrast, Christopher Lloyd stated that he, when he stumbles across Back to the Future film while channel surfing, he often sits and watches it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's seen it numerous times. I'm sure Michael J. Fox, I think, has seen it numerous times.
Yeah.
The inspiration for the film largely stems from Bob Gale discovering his father's high school yearbook and wondering whether he would have been friends with him, with his father back then. So that's what drove the concept of the time traveling. Back to the Future was the top grossing release of 1985.
Yep.
I'm not sure what came in second, what it beat back then.
I don't know. There were so many good movies that came out that year.
There were. But
Well, a handful of my favorite movies of all time came out in '85. Return of the Living Dead.
right.
Better Off Dead. All the Dead movies.
All the Dead movies. But Back to the Future was number one.
Yeah.
So that's what matters.
Yeah.
Beat them all. During his time on the film and being a method actor, Eric Stoltz refused to answer to any other name but that of his character Marty McFly.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, Eric Stoltz was Marty McFly for about 6 weeks before they hired Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, they realized that he wasn't right for the role.
Yeah, he was very, and he was causing problems too. Like he was very aggressive. Tom Wilson did not like him at all. And so yeah, him and Tom got into it a few times. So, but when he always went by Marty McFly, he was in character. So when Christopher Lloyd was told that Stoltz was to be replaced, he asked, "Who's Eric?" And after further explanation added, Lloyd said, "Oh, I really thought his name was Marty." So that's some fun facts.
They originally wanted Michael J. Fox, but he wasn't available because of family ties.
Yeah, and then him and the director of Family Ties, I forgot his name already. Anyways, him and Robert got together, and he was able to get him to go do Family Ties in the morning, and then leave from there and go straight to. It was like literally across the studio.
Yeah, that's why you see all the Michael J. Fox scenes shot at night or at dawn.
Yeah. So, and where was I at? I lost my place. Oh, according to Bob Gale, Johnny Depp auditioned for the role of Marty McFly. I looked through the notes and I said, geez, I don't even remember that we read Johnny Depp. So whatever he did, it wasn't all that memorable, I guess.
Yeah.
So the only scene which appears in all three Back to the Future films is that of which scene? What do you think?
The only scene that's in all three of them?
All three of them.
Is it the end of part one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the end of part one where Doc is sliding down from the clock tower on the cable and before the clock got struck by lightning.
Okay.
So, but Christopher Lloyd did not slide down the wire. He had a stuntman for that.
Okay.
His name was Bob Yerkes, who doubled for Christopher Lloyd during this scene. He got extra payment for parts 2 and 3 without even having to work because they just replayed it.
Nice.
So, kudos to Rob Burks. Or Bob Burks, not Rob. Bob. Another Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, just the Bobs.
Bob,
man.
Bob.
So, when Tom Wilson is asked about this movie by enthusiastic fans, he will often hand them a postcard of frequently asked questions as a time saver. And in fact, so much so that he made a song. And we're going to play that right now.
When I'm flying in a plane or I'm on the street, there's a lot of friendly people that I like to meet. They shake my hand and never ask my name, and they start asking questions that are always the same. Hey, what's Michael J. Fox like? He's nice. What's Christopher Lloyd like? Kinda quiet. What's Crispin Glover like? Unusual. Stop asking me the question. I went to the bar mitzvah of my nephew Josh. Now I'm not Jewish, but I like to nosh. Put on my yarmulke and started to pray when the rabbi leaned over and I heard him say, hey, was that real manure? No, it wasn't. How was that DeLorean? A piece of garbage. Did the hoverboards really fly? It's a movie. Stop asking me the question. Can we take your picture? Come on, look mean. Will you call my friend a butthead on his answering machine? Questions, just fill my head. I went to my doctor said, what does a key grip do? Set up lights. What does the best boy do? Help the key grip. What does a producer do? I don't know. Stop asking me the question. I don't think it's ever not on the TV screen. People tell me, I thought you'd be really mean. Doesn't matter if I tell them that movies are pretend. They still want me to say, what are you looking at, butthead? What are you looking at, butthead? What are you looking at, butthead? Do you all hang out together? No, we don't. How's Crispin Glover? Never talk to him. Back to the Future 4 never happened. And stop asking me the question. Who did you like on the set? The lunch guy who was the biggest jerk. He got fired. Back to the Future 4. Just let it go. Stop asking me the question.
And there's the question song.
He got fired. I'm guessing he's talking about Eric Stoltz.
Yes. Yeah, he does not like him. Even to this day, he does not like him. So, kind of rubbed him the wrong way. Butthead. The day the film wrapped to the day it was released was a mere 9.5 weeks. An unprecedentedly short lead time for a major movie release. So, they wanted this, I mean, all three of them, they wanted them out like that.
Yeah.
And then the last fun fact I have, when Robert Zemeckis was trying to sell the idea of this film, one of the companies he approached was Disney, who turned it down because they thought that the premise of a mother falling in love with her son, albeit, by a twist of time travel, was too risque for the film. under their banner anyways. In fact, Disney was the only company to consider the film too risque. All other companies said that the film was not risque enough compared to other teen comedies at that time.
Sure.
For example, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that came out in '82. Revenge of the Nerds, 1984.
Porky's.
Yeah, so I mean, it was not risque at all, really. Yeah. But yeah, so that was one of the interesting facts. All the fun facts of Back to the Future 1.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else to add to it?
No.
All right, let's move on to Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
Do you remember the future?
Yeah, we just talked about it.
You've got to come back with me. Where? Back to the future.
Are we back?
We're back.
What do you mean we're in the future?
October 21st, 2015.
Marty, we're going to be able to see our wedding.
Wow. Future. I gotta check this out, Doc.
Look what happens to your son.
Oh, he's a complete wimp.
Don't talk to anyone. You've been looking. Don't touch anything.
I need to borrow your hoverboard.
And try not to look at anything. I didn't invent the time machine to win at gambling.
I can't lose.
I invented a time machine to travel through time.
Hey, Doc, I'm all for that. What's wrong with making a few bucks on the side?
Now, the time continuum has been disrupted, creating an alternate 1985. There have been a few changes.
It's like we're in hell or something.
No, it's Hill Valley, although I can't imagine hell being much worse. But they'll all be back. Eat less, smackers!
Biff?
Hello? Hello, anybody home?
Well, that can't be you. You're so big.
Michael J. Fox. Christopher Lloyd. Michael J. Fox.
More like a couple of teenagers, you know?
And Michael J. Fox.
Mom, is that you?
Steven Spielberg presents a Robert Zemeckis film, Back to the Future, Part 2. Coming November 22nd to theaters everywhere.
Don't miss it, folks.
Yeah.
So, after visiting 2015, Marty McFly must repeat his visit to 1955 to prevent disastrous changes to 1985 without interfering with his first trip.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very complicated.
Yeah.
This one was all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane.
There's a lot going on in that movie.
There really was. So, Back to the Future Part 2 was released November 22nd, 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go through who starred in it, except for there was a couple of changes. Crispin Glover's not in this one. He refused to come back. So they replaced him with Jeffrey Wiseman.
Yeah.
And instead of Claudia Wells, it is now Elizabeth Shue as Jennifer. Same director, everything, same music, same filming took place in this one. The budget for this movie was $40 million, so they got a higher budget, and grossed about the same, maybe a little less. It was about $333 million.
Okay.
Still made a lot of money.
Yeah.
IMDb gave this one 7.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 62% with an 85% audience rating. Letterboxd gave it 3.9 out of 5. I gave this one 8.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10 for me.
It was actually, I mean, I went a little bit higher on this one than my original. I think I was going to do like 7.5 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
But after I read some of these fun facts, you'll kind of understand why I did that. And but yeah, I wanted to go ahead and jump on these fun facts, so we don't have to repeat everything else that we've already said before.
Okay.
So, fun facts. Do you have any to start with?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll probably throw some in there.
Okay. To commemorate the release of the 30th anniversary Back to the Future trilogy, Blu-ray and DVD release. A short movie called Back to the Future Doc Brown Saves the World came out in 2015. It was filmed with Christopher Lloyd reprising his role of Doc Brown. Have you seen this one?
I think I may have.
I don't think I have. But in the movie, Doc tapes a video message explaining that he traveled to the 2040s in a rebuilt DeLorean and discovered that inventions such as the hoverboard and dehydrated food will cause people to become massively overweight. Even worse, a simultaneous glitch in every nuclear Mr. Fusion device on the planet will cause a nuclear holocaust that decimates the world's population. He subsequently travels back in time and successfully prevents such dangerous devices from ever being invented, thus explaining why the future 2015, as seen in this movie, did not come true in reality.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool explanation.
Yeah.
And everything. I mean, short, it's a movie, folks. Like, this is not.
It's a movie.
But let's see here. Filmed at the same time as Back to the Future Part 3, which did not come out till 1990. It was claimed at the time that in the 4 years since Back to the Future was made, Michael J. Fox had forgotten how to ride a skateboard. However, motor skills are not so easily lost as in riding a bike. And Michael J. Fox has since stated that this was an early symptom of his Parkinson's disease, although the medical diagnosis was not made until 1991.
Right, during the filming of Doc Holliday. Or Hollywood.
Yeah.
Doc Holliday. Yeah, he played Doc Holliday, folks.
Yeah.
In Tombstone. Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I lost my place. No, computer glitch. Okay. The plot line of George McFly being dead in 1985-A, alternate universe, was based entirely on Crispin Glover's refusal to do the sequel. Jeffrey Wiseman took over the role, of course, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, they killed him off despite just to poke at him for quitting.
Yeah.
So,
I think he wanted too much money. That was the issue.
Yeah. First film appearance by Elijah Wood.
Yep.
If you guys don't know which part he's in or recognize him, he's the one playing the video game in the Cafe 80s.
Mm-hmm. He was a little kid playing Wild Gunman.
Yep. And
I mean, you gotta use your hands. It's like a baby's toy.
Right. And I'm gonna have to rewatch it too, because there's when I was looking at who was starring in the movie, it showed that Jason Scott Lee was in the movie. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't see Jason Scott Lee. You know who he is, right? He's the one that played Bruce Lee in the Bruce Lee Dragon Story and Jungle Book. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
maybe he was one of the henchmen in the future. Grip's henchmen.
Right. But yeah, I'll have to rewatch that to see. After Biff gets his cane stuck in the DeLorean, upon returning to 2015, he starts to thrash around in pain, apparently having a hard time, from the exertion. Robert Zemeckis has stated that Biff was experiencing the same thing Marty did at the dance in the first movie, fading out of history.
And there's a deleted scene that shows him fading away.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I saw the scene without the deleted scene, and it was always so confusing to me.
Right.
What the hell was happening to Biff after he got out of the DeLorean? But once I saw that deleted scene, I'm like, okay, it all came together. Like, yeah, he's fading out.
Yeah. This actually changed my perspective of the movie.
Yeah.
And everything, because he basically killed himself, sacrificed his future for his future. Yeah. Basically. Because he was dying. By giving Biff the almanac, the young Biff back in 1955, when he returned, that alternated his future, and his future didn't ever exist. So he was fading away. Luckily, he was able to bring the time machine back before that happened.
Right.
So, because I always wondered, you never see old Biff again after that scene.
Right.
So they should have left that in there.
I agree.
It opened up so many questions. I had questions. So the ledge on the clock tower that Doc broke in Back to the Future, it was still broken in 2015 when they went back to the future.
Okay.
So I mean, they remodeled the place, put new huge glass walls, but they didn't fix the ledge.
Huh.
Yeah. So that was an interesting fun fact. According to Michael J. Fox, he found out that there was going to be a sequel to Back to the Future when he watched the VHS version and the words "to be continued" were added at the end. He immediately called his agent to make sure he was going to be in the sequel.
Huh.
Like, you would think somebody would tell you.
Yeah, right.
But don't know. Not a movie star, so I have no idea. See here, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale have admitted on the DVD commentary that they were originally not interested in doing a sequel to their success hit Back to the Future, and that the open ending of the first movie was simply meant as a final joke. Like, that's not funny.
Okay.
Don't just fly away and say, we're going back to the future to save your kid.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. That's not funny.
That's way open ended.
Yeah. That's more than a cliffhanger. That's like, oh. Anyways, it says, however, when plans for a sequel were made by the studio, they chose to remain involved in the continuation of their creation and even extended it to 2 sequels. Zemeckis has claimed that if he knew that he was going to make a sequel, he would have made sure that Marty's girlfriend, Jennifer, wasn't in the car at the end of the first film. Since the movie would concentrate on Marty, there was not much for her to do, really, and she would even get in his way, really.
Yeah.
This is why Jennifer is knocked out by Doc Brown and left behind so early in the movie.
Yeah.
So, and really, she wasn't a big factor in any of them, really. So it was just, I don't know. Sorry, Jennifer. She kind of got a bad rap.
What else you got?
Got a couple more. Crispin Glover sued the filmmakers. I already said that. Or no, I didn't. I was talking about. I hadn't said that yet. So Crispin Glover sued the filmmakers as he had not. He wasn't granted. He didn't get permission to use his likeness for part 2. Crispin ended up dropping the lawsuit and settled out of court for $765 million.
Okay.
By Universal's insurance company, who decided it would be cheaper to pay Crispin than to go to trial. The Screen Actors Guild subsequently introduced new rules by illicit use of actors.
Yep, can't do that anymore because of that.
Yep, and went even further to where now they're fighting for AI and stuff like that. They can't use any resemblance without their permission, which you should be able to get their permission or the family's permission if they're already gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I remember hearing like 5 years ago how they were going to add James Dean to a film.
Yeah, no, like
using AI, but I don't see that hasn't happened yet.
The only way I would want to see that happen is if they did something like the Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Oh yeah.
Where they just use little skits of him and everything, like he's interacting with the person now, but it's from a different skit, from a different movie.
That'd be cool. They need to do that again.
Yeah, because I really like that movie and how they did that with James Cagney and and
Humphrey
Bogart, and all of them.
Ray Milland. Yeah.
So, what were we talking about this movie?
Yep.
Don't want to go detour. This movie was the most advanced film of its time for using every trick in the book. It was in the late 1980s when the concept of CGI was starting, however, in the film, very few CGI effects were actually needed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still, the most advanced film of its time back then.
Yep.
And then my final is there's a cameo of Charles Fleischer in the movie.
He is.
He's Terry the Auto Mechanic.
Yep.
From 2015, who wishes, he bet on the Cubs. Oh, I wish I would have bet on the Cubbies.
He's also in the 50s.
Yeah, as his younger self.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's all I got for Back to the Future 2.
Okay, I don't think I watched this in theaters. I saw the first one, as I said, and I saw the third one in the drive-in. And guess what? I fell asleep.
And now it's your all-time favorite.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we have one more to conclude this trilogy. It is Back to the Future, Part
4.
3. No.
Oh, 3. Yeah.
No, 3.
From out of the west, in a cloud of dust, a thunder of hooves, and a mighty...
The Old West.
This summer, Marty and Doc go back one more time for their greatest adventure of all. Doc's living in the past.
Don't try it, Tanner!
But he's about to be history.
What kind of a future do you call that?
I'm going back to 1885 and I'm bringing you home.
It's the last roundup.
Come on, run in there!
It's the final showdown,
Hey, lighten up, jerk!
where Marty makes a name for himself.
What's your name, dude?
Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
What kind of stupid name is that?
Doc meets his mate,
This saved my life.
I'm a biologist.
and Tannen meets his match.
I'll hunt you and shoot you down like a duck.
It's dog, Buford. Shoot him down like a dog.
Michael J. Fox,
Where'd you learn to shoot like that? 7-Eleven.
Christopher Lloyd,
There's a fella that can't hold his liquor.
and Mary Steenburgen.
I never ever met a man like you before.
Gentlemen, excuse me, but my friend and I have to catch a train.
This summer, Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis invite you
Come on, Marty!
to the Rough Rider, Rip Roaring, Rootin' Tootin', Straight Shootin',
And hold up! It's a science experiment!
rousing conclusion of Back to the Future.
Let the festivities begin! Yeah! Yeah!
Back to the Future, Part 3.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that? 7-Eleven. Now that's back when 7-Eleven used to have arcades.
Right.
Yeah.
That was back when it was cool.
Yeah. You could hang out and just play pinball or whatever.
Get a Slurpee and just chill all day.
Yeah.
So, stranded in 1955, Marty McFly learns about the death of Doc Brown in 1885 and must travel back in time to save him. With no fuel readily available for the DeLorean, the two must figure how to escape the Old West before Emmett is murdered. So that's the plot.
Yeah.
And I had to say, because of the villain, the Old West, just the same music. I just had to use it.
Yeah.
This movie was released May 25th, 1990.
May 25th is a big date for film.
Yes.
It was also the date that Star Wars was released in 1977.
Yep. Which is crazy because you would think that it would be May the 4th, because May the 4th is May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't think that was a thing until much later.
Right. I think May the 4th is declared Star Wars Day now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anywho, it stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Mary Steenburgen, Virgin, Steenburgen, sorry, Mary Steenburgen,
Steam Burger.
Oh, Leah Thompson, Tom Wilson, and Elizabeth Shue. We'll see here. It was filmed in Sierra Railroad, or at the Sierra Railroad in Jamestown, California. Two locations in the Monument Valley. One was in Utah. That was the drive-in theater. And then the other one was in Arizona, which is where the Indians were charging the scene.
Yeah.
But it was all in the Monument Valley.
Okay.
And then Port Hueneme. I'm not going to... That was where the train and the DeLorean crashed.
Okay.
So... But yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. That's weird.
Okay.
I did my best. Words.
Words.
It had a budget, again, of $40 million. I wonder if the $40 million was combined between the two.
I don't know.
Because that's just weird that it had the same budget as the second one when they were filming back to back.
Right.
So, but it had a budget of $40 million. This one only grossed $245 million. So, I mean, it just kept going down. Like, people were just not into it as much as the first one.
Yeah.
So, IMDb gave it 7.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 80% with a 78% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 3.5 out of 5. I only gave this one 7.5 out of 10. I did have it rated higher, but... I don't know, man. It just didn't have that pizzazz.
Yeah, I agree.
The first two.
8.5 for me.
Okay. Some fun facts that I have on this one is, as soon as I get to it.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right. Michael J. Fox was accidentally hanged, rendering him unconscious for a short time. Yep. He records this in his autobiography, Lucky Man, back in 2022. Or 2002.
Okay.
Not 22.
Way back in 22.
Yeah. So, yeah, whenever... so he almost lost them then.
Yeah.
So, Clint Eastwood was asked for permission about his name being used, probably because of the whole Crispin Glover thing.
Yeah.
He consented and was said to be tickled by the homage. Marty uses a Frisbee's pie plate to knock a gun out of Mad Dog's hand. Mm-hmm. In 1871, the Frisbee Pie Company started in Connecticut. Their pie pans were thrown on the campus of Yale, and this eventually led to the invention of Frisbees.
Yep.
So that was kind of an Easter egg thing there.
Yep.
Speaking of Easter eggs, and I'll get to this here in a little bit, ZZ Top was in the movie.
Yes, they were.
They were hanging around the set, and they were the band, the town band, and during one take, the camera broke. And while waiting for the camera to be repaired, Michael J. Fox asked if they would play Hey Good Lookin', and which they did. Afterwards, more requests were played, and 2 hours later, someone inquired if the camera had been repaired, and Zemeckis replied that it had been fixed for quite a while. They just didn't want to stop the party, so they were having fun. When Doc and Marty are at the drive-in preparing the DeLorean for the trip to 1885, Marty mentions Clint Eastwood, and Doc replies, "Clint who?" In the shot, there is a movie poster on the drive-in's wall showcasing Revenge of the Creature, and Tarantula from 1955. Containing some of the first film appearances of a young, then unknown Eastwood.
Okay.
So Marty even looks at and briefly points to the poster as he says, to Doc, "That's right. You haven't heard of him yet." So that's kind of cool.
That's cool that he knew.
Yeah.
McFly knew.
Right.
He had seen the movie and knew.
Yeah. Tom Wilson did his own horse riding stunts. And he was the one that almost hung Marty McFly,
Oh.
aka Michael J. Fox, because he did it. He did the lassoing. So that could have been awry.
Yeah.
Actor and former President Ronald Reagan was originally approached to play the part of the mayor, Mayor Hubert, because of his fondness of the first film in the trilogy. He reluctantly turned the role down, and the part went to Hugh Gillen instead. Had Reagan appeared, it would have marked his first appearance in a film in nearly 30 years.
Yeah, right.
So I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So, for Back to the Future Part 2 and this film, 2 years were spent building the sets and completing the scripts. They were filmed back to back over 11 months in order to take advantage of Michael J. Fox's extended break from Family Ties.
Okay.
And we kind of went over this a little bit earlier, which was coming to an end of its run. While Part 3 was being filmed, Part 2 was being edited.
Yeah.
The Saloon in 1885, Hill Valley, is the same location as Lou's Cafe in 1955.
Huh.
And the Gym in 1985.
Yeah.
And the Cafe 80s in 2015.
Okay.
So
I never even thought of that.
I didn't either until I seen this. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. And then my final fun fact I have, Michael J. Fox compared the filming of all three movies to being back in school, as it seemed like someone was always teaching him something for the films. During the course of filming the trilogy, Fox was taught how to play the guitar, how to ride a horse, and how to shoot a gun.
Huh.
So that's all I have on that one.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add to it?
No, I don't think so.
All right. There was something I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. I know, right? I was going to get... Oh, the Easter egg. Okay, so I seen a thing on TikTok, and it was, those conspiracy theory kind of ideas about movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, in the Polar Express movie, during a scene in the train, the conductor's trying to control the train. It's sliding on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
For a brief second, if you blink, you'll miss it. But there is a flux capacitor embedded into the train. And you see it in the background. And it's the flux capacitor. You can't deny it.
Okay.
The theory that's going around is that Doc Brown, at the end of Part 3, made a time machine out of the train.
Right.
Then traveled back to 2015 with his family and everything, and gave Marty's son the train as a gift. Therefore, Marty went back to 1950 because that's where kind of the Polar Express was based on in that year frame.
Yeah.
And so he went back to 1950, and then the train became the conductor of the Polar Express.
Okay.
I don't think that's true. I mean, it's interesting to think that. Doesn't really add up. Now, what I do know is that Robert Zemeckis was also the director of the Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of those Easter egg things that people like to do, like, Spielberg and Lucas does in their films.
Yeah.
So he just threw a flux capacitor in a train in Polar Express to give homage to Zemeckis, saying, hey, this is my film. Remember this? Well,
I guess you can make any theory up you want, because you know why?
Why?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. So remember, folks, if you get a car and, you're in a storm, don't let it get hit by lightning, because then you're going to get
21 gigawatts!
And if you are, make sure you're at least listen to Doc Brown when he says,
my calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. We'll see you later.
Bye.